One of my favorite movie lines is from a 1994 dark comedy entitled Swimming with Sharks. With sharks in the title, you might think it's about lawyers, but it's actually about the cutthroat world of Hollywood producers. In one particular scene, the character, Buddy Ackerman, a top movie executive played by Kevin Spacey, is on the phone berating a subordinate over differences in opinions concerning a movie production. He closes the conversation with, "Say this with me one time. Would you like that in a pump or a loafer? Good, now memorize it because starting tomorrow, the only job you're going to be able to get is selling shoes." When I saw the movie as an adult, I instantly flashed back to the feeling I had as I walked out of my first and last moot court competition at Pitt Law. What is moot court? For the non-legal types, it's a competition between burgeoning litigators, appellate gurus, and other law students who want to hone their debate and critical thinking skills in various legal subjects. It's typically an extracurricular activity students in law schools across the country volunteer to have our legal arguments verbally hacked to death by law student judges, professors, and sometimes actual judges. For me, volunteering to participate in a process that would further degrade my sense of self-worth was akin to agreeing to be waterboarded. So how did I end up sitting before a moot court panel of law student judges trying to argue the ins and outs of the Fourth Amendment implications of Illinois v. Gates? I decided that if I could survive the process and argue my case well, it would be more proof to other students that I deserve to be there and more proof to myself. So it was a chance to boost my self-esteem, ironically. Unfortunately, the closer it came to oral argument day, the worse the anxiety and self-doubt got. The morning of the event, the only way I could get myself out of my apartment was to loosen up beforehand. Moot court meet Jose Cuervo. I often wonder if I'm the only law student to ever show up for such a competition not sober, if not quite legally intoxicated. I feel safe in saying I'm probably in an elite group in that regard. My decision to drink before the session, however, was akin to decisions I'd made throughout my life before leaning on drugs or alcohol. I wanted to face my fears, but I too often decided the only way to do so was to change how I felt through drugs or drinking. Safe to say, alcohol did nothing to enhance my performance in moot court. The student judges eye-rolled and sighed all the way through my barely competent arguments. My biggest concern was not getting close enough to them so they could smell the booze on my breath. It wasn't just the drinking, however. I'd also prepared in much the same way I'd approached all facets of my education. Last-minute cramming was my normal prep, a legal brief written in a few days using other students' notes. A week later, I walked out of my evaluation and ran into my moot court partner, Eric. He said, "I think I did okay. They told me I had the potential to be a star. How'd you do, Brian?" I told him that I did about as well as I'd expected, then walked away thinking about my future career as a shoe salesman.